What's up, you beautiful collectors and action figure fans? Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at the new Hot Toys NMS 653 of the Scarlet Witch from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, this is specifically the deluxe version, and I don't know if I'm not going to be able to show you the box. It's way too big. But there is a regular version of the Scarlet Witch that does not come with pretty much all this stuff over here. It's just the figure itself. For $30, I think more, you got all this though, and I was like, I'm definitely going to get that. That being said, there are parts about this specifically, while I do like it, it eliminates something else, and I'll get to that here in a bit. But this is an absolutely outstanding release. Without a shadow of a doubt, I have had multiple different Scarlet Witch figures, or specifically, I should say, Wanda Maximoff figures, because they were not able to call her the Scarlet Witch up until WandaVision. The reasoning is because that term, Scarlet Witch, was owned by Fox. So all the way through the different, the different Marvel movies, like Age of Ultron, things like that, that had Wanda in it, they couldn't refer to her as the Scarlet Witch because that specific phrase was owned by Fox. Once Disney purchased that from, like the X-Men universe, when Disney purchased that from Fox, they got the rights to be able to call her the Scarlet Witch. So there's a lot of funky behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on there. But starting off first, let's get through a lot of this. Up first, hands. A lot of different hands here. I'm going to just kind of hold them inside here. You do have two relaxed hands that you can see I have here and here. That's what are on the figure, or what's on the figure when you first take her out of the package. But then she has all these creepy, crazy, like, weird casting effects on here. And one thing that is really cool, as we saw, because of her use of the Darkhold in the film, and I'm trying to remember if it was in WandaVision. I don't think it was done yet in WandaVision, but the use of the Darkhold started making the tips of her fingers start to turn into this creepy darkness to it, and all of these hands have that, and I think it's fantastic. They also have the little strap. Well, it's not really a strap, but as part of her her sleeves, it comes down and kind of fits on here. I like how they did that. That way it doesn't break up anything on there, and it looks like a natural sort of extension of those sleeves. I really do like how they did that. That's very, very cool. So setting these little guys off to the side for now. She also does come with a pair of effects, like she's, like doing crazy. I don't know what that was. But these are those little effect things that, you can basically just take this, kind of like stick her fingers through there, get her to hold it, do different things. So I love the effect pieces. She also does come with these effect pieces, which are more, I feel like, I want to say that we've gotten these before, but you wrap these around her fingers as well, and it creates, like, she's got like kind of like smoke effects kind of coming from her hand and everything. But these are like I said, more the casting spell sort of things. These are just kind of like energy is like flaming, if that makes sense, from her hands. Not really necessarily doing anything, just extending out. I do like it, and I also kind of like how, like, this is a lighter color, whereas this is a little bit darker of a color, like, because she's doing evil things. I don't know. Now, well, she also does come with an extra pair of wrist pegs in case you need anything like that. But you also do get these pieces here. Now, this is for the front section right here. You can put these on her as a way to kind of make her sit. Which she did do. She like crossed her legs and then she would like hover there, and you can kind of do that with this. And I don't know. I was talking to my buddy Mark about this figure, and while I love it, I think it's amazing. The suit that they're doing, like especially with the legs, the biggest problem that I have with it is that it's that kind of stretchy material that if you leave it in a pose, it's very much like Spider-Man's suit. So if you leave it stretched out in a pose too terribly long, it's going to create sag and wrinkles, and I don't like that. And by keeping this, by putting these here, or something like that, I would have to, oh wait, how's that go? Oh no, it goes like, yeah, it's like this. By putting these on there, you can lift up her leg and you can have her seated, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. So to show you how that works, basically they're magnetically attached. So you just literally just take that off, and then you take this other one, and you got a little bump section right here. You just kind of line that up, put there, and it magnetically attaches to it. That way it doesn't like poke, because that is, it's kind of pointy right there. But this allows you to bring the leg up, and like I said, kind of get a high range of motion without it pointing in there. The problem though, especially here in the back, you can see that when you bring it back, it creates this like bunching effect, and I don't like that. So I'm definitely not going to have her in a seated pose anytime soon, which is unfortunate because it was a cool kind of look, but you can see that just attaches via magnets and it sits on there, which is really nice. So I do like it. I'm going to drop her. But it's not something that I'm going to really ever use. So you do get that. You also do get something else for her head. I'll show that here in a bit. But you also do get the Darkhold, and bringing that over here. Now, this piece here, this is a part of like this whole dream walking effect. I'm just gonna set that right there. But the Darkhold here, amazing detail on this. Oh my god, absolutely gorgeous all the way around. You can see the different details sculpted in there. Back section has it as well. You also do have the whole image of Wanda right there, like the Darkhold foretells the coming of the Scarlet Witch. But there are several different pages actually done up in there, and you can see that I don't know if you read that if anything bad happens, but like just flipping through several different pages individually done up, which is outstanding in my opinion. I'm really quite impressed. I don't know if they had access to the actual prop per se, but that's really cool. And obviously this is going to be the more iconic image to have the book opened up to. But the fact that she comes with that is really quite neat. And I love just how it looks like it's dripping blood. I mean, that is so incredibly cool. Just great detail all the way around. So wickedly impressed with how this turned out. Now, that is pretty much, well, no, I shouldn't say that. So, you also do get a separate different hair section for her. So, you got the crown right there, and you have this hairpiece. So, you can have her hair kind of over her shoulders, which looks cool. You can remove this, just kind of pegs in there, and then you can leave that off if you want to, which looks great. But that section comes off, looks very weird. And then you can take this, you can line that up, and then you can have the hair here in the front, which also looks really good. And then you can take this, and then you got little, not really clips, but there's like little sections along the side where you can plug that into. Oh wait, am I doing that right? No. Oh no, maybe it's like this. I think it's more like this. Where's the little thing? No, that's definitely not right. What am I doing? And this part here, though, does make me very, very nervous just because of how tiny and thin it is. But why is that not? Oh, there we go. Okay. You just kind of wedge it in there, and see, like there's little bits right here. You kind of have to get that fed in there to kind of get it to sit. There we go. And you can do that as well, which is absolutely amazing. But this is, as I said, by far, in my opinion, the best representation of Elizabeth Olsen that we've ever gotten. This is absolutely spot on. I'll take a look at that a little bit more in a bit. But with that extra hair piece, the Darkhold, all that kind of stuff, that is everything that you get in the standard version, with the exception of all of this. Now, that being said, this serves as kind of her display for it. The regular version comes with the regular base to kind of display her. I really wish these deluxe figures, while I love having this big giant diorama thing, I wish that they would still include that smaller one, because this is a massive footprint in any kind of display. It is what it is, but it's huge, and I don't know if I want to display this. Like, I wanted to get this because of the value of it, but I don't know if I'm going to display this, to be totally honest. While it is very cool, it is very big, and that's one of the things that I don't like about it. I do wish that they would give you that option, especially since you're paying that extra price already. Maybe throw in another $5. Like I said, this is $30, $35. You know, make it $35, $40. Put that regular base in there so that we can use that as well. It's very unfortunate that they don't. While this is still very cool, now you get this section right here, like you can see with this in the beginning section. You can take the Darkhold. Where's that page at? I want to have that cool page. There we go. And then you take this and you literally wedge this inside here. Just kind of feed this through both of these sections. Like that, something like that. There we go. There we go. And I just kind of wedge that up and in there. So you can have this, and then you attach it to. Now I think it says to attach it to this. Now, granted, I do have the instructions right here, so make sure you go over this, because I did not. So I'm trying to look here. Yeah, it kind of looks like it has it attached to the smaller one, doesn't it? I'm trying to, because that's kind of hard to see. Or maybe it's the big ball. I don't know. That's really tough to see. But you got these different balls right here, where you can take this, and the shape of this, you come around here and just kind of wedge it around it. And see, that's, come on. It's hard plastic, so you can do that with it, and have that on there. But I feel like that's off on the side. I don't know if I like that. And you can't really, well, you kind of can. And then I guess you could put it here if you wanted to and have it. I guess it's a matter of personal preference. But again, how you decide to do it is going to be entirely up to you. This down here, I feel like is going to be a little bit better. Well, no, that kind of puts it off on a weird angle as well. You can futz with it, or you just kind of have it dangle there, I guess. Whatever you really want to do. I mean, it's kind of like in this dropping it hook sort of shape, but you get the Dreamwalker effect as well, and it's actually it's pretty big, as you can see all the way around. I mean, it's a very large sort of section, but it's done up in that kind of like effect sort of thing, which is really very cool. And then obviously you do get the crouch grabber right there. You get the clear pillar. The other thing that's really nice is that you do get these candle sections, which they don't light up or anything like that, but really nice detail on those. The problem that I have with these though is that they detach very easily. You got these little hooks on here, and this like whole thing, this is very pointy, so be careful. But you got these little hooks that you literally just kind of sit them on there, kind of get it to grab. But it doesn't like doing it. So there you go. And then you kind of just have that on there. So looks really cool. Like I said, very, very cool. I just wish that it would have more. The other part that I am not a big fan of is, I'm just going to move this off to the side, get that away, but you can see that like falls apart. This is plastic, but it's very thin, very flimsy plastic, and I do not like that. I don't know what's on there, some schmutz. I love the little the ground section, that's really cool, but this is very thin plastic, like, and I mean, I didn't like doing that, but I don't like that at all. That, I mean, like I said, it's plastic, but not very sturdy plastic, I feel, and that's very unfortunate. So while I like having these effect pieces and all of that, it definitely, and see, now I'm gonna have to figure out how to attach these again. It's definitely a situation where I think that the overall execution is lacking, and that's definitely unfortunate, because you are paying a premium for this, and for all intent and purposes, like I said, I do think that it is worth that extra $30, but I also think that they could have done something differently to make it really, really shine and really stand out. So that was a lucky catch. Oh, and I knocked off her her head, her crown. So let's get this around. And like I said, it's just a situation where I think that, you know, and like I said, these don't, like, you attach one section and then another section will detach. So I'm gonna leave that alone. This is also, like I said, very thin, so be very, very careful with this if you're going to be manipulating this or moving this around or anything like that. It is a very thin piece. I'm going to set that right there. The figure itself, though, as I was talking about, is gorgeous. Let me bring my camera up here. This is an amazing likeness. Coming in to take a closer look, that is outstanding. And while I do not have a light here to do it, if you put like a one of those, like a black light sort of thing on there, her eyes will glow red, which is really cool. But the likeness is spectacular. I also really love the way that they did that hair swapping thing. You can't really even tell. It's part of the sculpt so well with the way that the hair is designed that it just completely blends in, which is amazing. The hair itself looks really very good. It does come down fairly far down her back, which is accurate. She did have longer hair, so that does look really good. Staying in close to look at the rest of the outfit there, you can see that she's got like that little necklace thing. That is cool. Great detail on the costume all the way around. I mean, that is amazing, amazing detail, and has a very dark, gritty look to it, which is cool. Even when you come down to these little sections here, all the detail sculpted in there is outstanding. The texture of that rubbery sort of material. This is a little bit harder of a material than this, but you can see great texture throughout the entire thing. And when you look at the back, the different red stripes going down there, absolutely gorgeous. Coming down to take a closer look at her pants again. Like I said, it is that very stretchy material that I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I get it, but it really limits kind of the posing that you can do, just because I don't want to damage the suit. I mean, that really is very unfortunate when you pay that much money for something and then the suit gets damaged because you leave it in a pose. I also love her. I don't even I don't want to call it a cape, but these little bits here in the back, absolutely amazing. There's wires along the outer section. I love how it's ripped up, very frayed looking. Both sides have that, and it's not symmetrical. Like, you can see how it's torn on this side, come to this side. That is absolutely amazing how they did that. And then you look at the back and you can see the dirtiness of it going down there. I mean, absolutely spectacular looking in terms of the paint detail and the tailoring, I guess. I don't even know what you would call it. Boots look really good because of the way that they're designed. It comes up high, but you have this split boot sort of thing, so you do get the articulation in the ankles, which is really very good as well. Speaking about the articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so you get a good range of motion with it. As you do move it around, though, one thing you will see, especially with this particular hair, when you do that, it does split things. So if you take this off, put this hair section on, and you can see that it's got like these little tabs that just kind of, you slot it in, and it's held on by those magnets in there. So you kind of get that in. What am I doing? Come on. There we go. So once you have it in there, I mean, and that's just like, looks like she's flying. So as you move that around and swap out the hair, you get a little bit more of a range of motion with it, just naturally as part of it. Up and down, all that stuff. Shoulders move in and out, forward and back. As you rotate the arms forward, I always recommend kind of rotating the costume as well, so that you can get a full range of motion within, then just kind of futz with it back. The elbows have 2 bends at the elbow, but again, be careful because that will hold a pose. This is kind of what I was talking about, how like the sleeve comes down, and it's like one of those shirts where you would wear it around your hand like that, and it really is seamlessly done here, which looks really good. The articulation here at the torso is a little bit more limited. You do have a lower hip section that can move around and get some rotation stuff, but that diaphragm joint is a little bit more restricted because of the more rigid nature of the bodysuit, I guess. The hips down here, as you can see, can move front and back, but as you can see, that's where that kind of pushes on there. So it is nice that you get those in case you do want to kind of swap that out, move in and out. You do the rotation at the upper part of the thigh, the bend at the knee, so you can create a sitting pose, but again, this is what ends up happening. You get the bunching, which just sucks. That is really unfortunate. Then you come down to the ankles, pivot, forward, back, all that fun stuff. So lots of very good articulation in the figure. Hard to pull off some poses, although you can. And then, like I said, with this, you bring this around, and you literally just kind of fit this along the edge right there. It kind of holds in nicely with the hair. And do that on that as well. Just tuck that in. Boom. There you have her. All Scarlet Witchy-like. I mean, that is so cool. And then again, you can take this, depending on how, like which hand you're using for it, it's going to make it where you can kind of create like a pose. Just kind of wedge your fingers, or the little straps around there, so you can do craziness like that. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. So good. Honestly, I cannot recommend this figure enough. If you are a fan of Wanda You know, whether it be Wanda or the Scarlet Witch, whatever you're a fan of, this is an amazing recreation of it. You know, the original character of the Scarlet Witch from the X-Men universe, being Magneto's daughter, was always a very powerful mutant. And one could argue that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she's as powerful. I mean, everybody talks about the fact how she was going to kill Thanos. Nobody else could do that. She was about to kill him. And the only way that he saved himself was when he had his giant ship fire down on her. And that's what saved him. He was going to be killed by her. And I know that Kevin Feige had said that. So, for all intent and purposes, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she is the most powerful of them all. And you could really see that in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, say what you want about that film. A lot of people didn't like it. I actually really did like it. But you can see how powerful she was. You know, taking on Doctor Strange easily. Multiple different versions of Doctor Strange easily. Taking on Wong easily. Killing Mr. Fantastic. Killing Captain Carter. Killing Professor Charles Xavier. There's no doubt that she was powerful, and whether or not you agree or disagree, you know, in terms of how she was portrayed in that film, you got to look at the fact that she has suffered more than almost anybody else through the cinematic universe. Losing her parents, having a twin brother who was killed, having fallen in love with Vision, only to be forced to kill him to prevent Thanos from getting the Mind Stone, only to have Thanos bring him back to life and kill him in front of her. Sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera. And then finding out that Vision is actually still alive, or his body is still alive, and he's being played with and created into a completely different version of himself. And then finding out then you know, her creating a world where everything was nice and happy with WandaVision, and creating children for herself in that universe, or you know, however that came about. She wanted to be happy. She ended up becoming a mother in that universe, and those children were ripped from her. And while, you know, you could argue that those children weren't real, they were real to her, and she was a mother. And in some universe, those kids existed still. So there's a connection, obviously. I don't know if she was right or wrong, but it definitely is a situation where she was fully corrupted by the Darkhold and wanted to try and make her life better. And as, I mean, I'm not a parent, never was a parent. You know, naturally or adoption, neither of those ever happened. So I've never known the love of a parent for a child, other than what my parents feel for me. And this is definitely a case where I can understand why she would not really go crazy. I don't think she went crazy. She was fully aware of what she was doing. Just, it's one of those kind of things where, as a villain, the best ones are ones that you can understand and say, I understand why they are doing what they do, or what they're doing. Those make really good villains, in my opinion. Is she completely gone? Who knows? We do not know for sure. We do know that there is I believe I just saw it announced, a second season of WandaVision has been greenlit. Or maybe it was just a Vision series. I think it's just a Vision series, not a WandaVision. I misspoke. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work out with the White Vision basically now having like the rebuilt body of Vision minus the Mind Stone, but still extremely powerful, still made out of vibranium, all this kind of stuff, with now all the memories of the Vision that was in love with her. It's going to be interesting to see. And at the end of the Multiverse of Madness, everybody have zoomed in, and as she was destroying that mountain, there is a poof of magicalness that you do see. So maybe she was able to save herself. Who knows? Time will tell. But in terms of this Hot Toy figure, the look for her in the film was amazing. And Hot Toys recreated it flawlessly, in my opinion. The likeness is amazing. The costume is fantastic. I get why they went with the material that they did. I don't like it, but I get it. And for me, I'm just going to have her stand. But that being said, with her just standing, I wish they would have just given us a base that she could stand on instead of having to have this entire thing, which is cool. I really like it. Takes up too much space, though, for me. So, without a shadow of a doubt, I would recommend picking this figure up. This is the only version that is available right now on Big Bad Toy Store. The cheaper regular standard version is sold out. But for this one, I will put a link down in the video description where you can add this girl to your collection. She's amazing. Plain and simple. But there you go, guys. There's my look at the new Hot Toys Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness Scarlet Witch. As I mentioned, if you would like to add her to your collection, the link will be down in the video description. Also, do me a quick favor. While you're going to be down there, why don't you hit that like button? That little thumbs up really does go a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really very much appreciate it. Also, if you're down there and you're new to my reviews, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on any future reviews that I put out. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. As always, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. And until next time, this is Optibotimus saying to please remember that the real trouble with this world is that too many people grow up. Thank you again, and until next time, take care, adios, au revoir, and auf Wiedersehen.